Hello everybody, welcome to the video today. It's me again at the signal box. Welcome everybody, wherever you're watching from. To my regular viewers and subscribers, a big shout out to you guys and girls, and thank you so much for joining me wherever you are today for today's video. So, I thought I would treat myself to something very rare, which I don't normally buy, and that is a model construction kit. It's been decades since I've put together a kit. It's a line side structure or building of any sort. It's been a long time since I've actually bought a kit that you put together in parts. Not for fear of doing it, but I just think we've, as modelers, to be honest with you, I think some of you might agree with this comment, but I'm going to say the following. But I think as modelers, whether we model N gauge or 00 scale, we are spoilt for choice and overwhelmed on the market these days with commercially available, ready to go buildings that are all done for you. Be them in plastic or resin, they're there off the shelf, out the box, onto your layout. You pop it on and there it is. Back in the day, it used to be such enjoyment about scratch building, making your own buildings or assembling buildings from a kit, because you take time over winter evenings and make something and you put it together, hopefully, that resembles something that was a building. And that joy seems to have gone out of my life a little bit these days, because if any buildings that I've want for the layout, like for example the station building that I recently featured, that's a nice Metcalf, very high quality standard card kit that was assembled for me, because that's beyond my modelling capabilities to put that together. I probably could do it, but it would take a long time, and I'm not very experienced in putting card kits together, certainly not of that multitude. So I thought, I'm going to take the plunge and I'm going to have a go, and I'm going to get a model kit and I'm going to sit and build it. So what did I get? Well, with the new station layout, or it's not so much layout, but the new station buildings, I needed to have a footbridge. Now, the current footbridge, I've got the old Daypole Airfix one that I sprayed in Malachite Southern Railway green. There's nothing wrong with it, but it looks a little bit out of place with the new station buildings, and I haven't got technically a space for it. It does go over all three tracks, however it just needs be put somewhere else, or say for another layout. Now I needed to get a new footbridge. It just gave me an excuse to get a footbridge, so I came up with a solution which I think is going to be really nice. This company, a company called Modelux. Now Modelux, they do a vast range, and it's growing. I'd say vast, but it's quite a decent range. If you go on their website to Modelux, just put in the Google search engine Modelux as it's spelt on the screen here, Modelux, Modelux, and it comes up to their website. And they do quite a nice range of buildings that are in 00 scale, also in N gauge as well, if you're interested. They are pre-laser cut kits that you assemble in parts. They are all pre-coloured, so as you see them in the photographs here, if we look on my left to right, there's a tower crane they do. They do an industrial old Victorian building. They do a station building with a dome on top there, a gasometer, and a modern office block there as well. And they do quite a lot of nice structures. They do loco sheds, goods sheds, water towers, that sort of thing. And they also do footbridges. There's two types. They do the old-fashioned lattice footbridge, but they also do this. This is the Brunellian Victorian Dawlish Warren's footbridge at Dawlish Sands on the Western region. It's still there today. It's a grade 2 listed building, built in 1873, and as I said, it's very Brunellian. When Brunel built the Great Western Railway, besides tunnels, he did some beautiful bridges, and this is a very Victorian Brunellian footbridge that is still in existence today. As mentioned, it's a grade 2 listed building, originally built in 1873, and there hasn't really been a kit out there in the market that has captured the true profile of that particular footbridge down at Dawlish Warren. So Modelux, I've done that for you with this. So it all comes in separately little fitted packages, and as you can see, they're all pre-lasered cut. It looks really complicated, but actually it isn't. and there's all your little very fine scale fiddly bits, and look all that ironwork on there. There's that, and then you've got the main bits up here to make the actual deck and bridge itself. You've got all those bits in there to put on, but they're all pre-laser cut, so they're made out of a density fiberboard material, very strong and nicely printed. And some of them are a little bit fiddly and fragile, so you need tweezers and you need some good strong PVA. I actually went on Amazon and I got a large bottle of Modelux Speed Bond, which is a very fast drying PVA. It leaves it enough flexibility to work around for a few minutes, but then it goes off really hard. It's very, very good stuff. That's what I've ordered. To assemble, they recommend you use a PVA to assemble this kit. So Modelux Speed Bond is the way to go, I think. I'm not going to use super glue because super glue tends to dry with like a frosting effect and it ruins it. So Speed Bond, like most PVA, dries clear, and Speed Bond is very fast, as the name suggests. So I've got that. So one thing I was worried about this kit is the dimensions, and I did email the guy at the company to ask him for the dimension. He said, oh, I'll send you over the data sheet. Well, he hasn't done so, but it doesn't matter because I've got the info right on the front, bang. So it says here, what I'm interested in is not so much the width, but the height isn't a problem, the width isn't a problem. What I'm interested in is the length. So it's 190 millimeters. So if I get my trusty old steel rule out on the table, it says, what does it say again? 190 mil across. So if we look on here, we'll go 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So if I put my finger about there, that, from the end of that steel rule, right there on the left to where my finger is, my index finger, my right hand, that tells you the width between where the station building is, that side, to where my finger is the platform. So that basically, having measured this, got that information, I was so excited. I thought, right, now I know how long it is. So out came the rule, and very nervously I measured from my station platform where the building is right the way across, and it will fit across all three platforms. So that is a little bonus. That is very, very good, very good. So that's handy. So I don't really, or don't have to at all, do any cutting or shutting or trimming of the main deck, which is the bit that goes across. So I had visions of getting my tools out and just trimming a little tiny bit off, a couple of mil, and pulling it more closer together for the width purposes and length purposes. But in all intensive purposes, I haven't got to touch it. So all being well and all things considered, that should all work nicely. So when I put this together, it probably will be the Saturday coming this weekend. So there'll be no railway this weekend. I was going to plan on setting the layout up again this weekend, but by the time my glue comes tomorrow, it most likely, unless I do it tomorrow, a little bit busy tomorrow, but if I spend a Saturday on this, and then once it's all done, I'll pop up another video so you can see it all finished, and how it's going to look. But if you can't wait that long and you want to see what it looks like now while it's still in the bag, sorry to say, I won't be fast forwarding no video clip, so the next clip you won't see it all built up. Sorry about that. I'm actually having to wait for my glue to turn up in the post, so I can't do that. But what I can do, guys, what I can do for you is, in the description box below, I will post a link that you can click on, and it takes you to the Modelux YouTube channel, and they show you a chap putting this together. Now please ignore all the amount of glue that is used, the access amount of glue, because he's made a little bit of a faff up here and there, but other than that, it's a nice little kit, and you can see what it looks like. But you know what I'm like. My models, I try to make them as unique as possible from someone else's. It's just like my layout. My layout's only a small little boring 6x4 baseboard. The track design is no doubt being copied by loads of people, but it's what I've put in and around it that makes it unique. So I intend to give this what I call the West Anglia treatment. I'm going to make it very unique, and you'll see when I've finished it all. Anyway, in the meantime, just a little quickie video, and very excited about this new product. I've not ever bought a Modelux product before in my life, so Modelux are a new company I'm going to use, and more importantly, designed and manufactured in Great Britain. And hopefully, if we get Mr. Farage in power very soon, then our country will become great again. You know, like Donald Trump says, let's make America great again. Well, I think we need to make Britain great again. If you live in the UK, you know what I'm talking about. It's time for change. So I think it's good to always support your local business and your local country's businesses. Whether you live in another part of the world, if they make something in your country without having to go somewhere abroad to get something, that's what it's all about, giving people jobs and giving people their own economy. Anyway, I'm going to just say goodbye, and hopefully in the next video, which you will see, this will all be assembled. But in the meantime, do check out the Modelux video I've posted underneath there, and they've got quite an interesting array of buildings they'll show you as well, and they're quite reasonably priced as well. For all you overseas viewers that live outside the UK, they do ship. They do, and they will dispatch them to your country. Anyway, that's all me done for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching today. Take care, and I'll see you soon.